Hello everyone, it's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. So I've got a quick little tips and tricks for you today, and it's regarding wet glue versus double-sided tape. Dun dun dun. When to use it, why, and does it matter? Yes, it does. Let's change the camera view. All right, so I'm working on my mini stories folio style 1. And it occurred to me that this would be a great teachable moment. All right, so I'm matting and doing all sorts of fun things. And I came to this part here. All right, this is not glued down yet. This part here, which is my gusset, the gusset of my project, which when you close the project, it could get smashed, right? So if you are a double-sided tape user, and you just love double-sided tape for whatever reason, guys. There's could be a bazillion reasons. We're not going to get into the reasons. And in this case, you want to switch over to a glue. It's important. And the reason why it's important that you switch over to a wet glue is because a wet glue will finish in, it'll be stiff when it dries. All right. So right now, this is very flexible. I use tape here, okay? Here, if you could feel this, if we have feel-o-vision, you would see that right here is really stiff. And the reason for that is because I used wet glue, all right? Now, there's two sides to this, okay? You never, ever want to do wet glue on one side. Get out of here. Wet glue on one side and then immediately go and do wet glue on the other side. And I'm talking about this side right here, okay? You want to wait for this wet glue to dry, then you do this side. You never want to do wet on wet. Why do you never want to do wet on wet? Because it's going to warp, all right? When you saturate paper too much, it warps, right? So you want to reduce the likelihood of warping. And how do you do that? You glue, let it dry, good 30 minutes, an hour, go do something else. There's plenty to do, right? Then you go here. All right, so let's do it, guys. I would not use tape here. Why? Because it will not give me that supportive structure that I'm looking for. I want something that is going to make this nice and stiff so it doesn't cave in over time, right? We spend a lot of time on these projects and we want them to last. Is this the piece? Yeah, this is the piece. So I went ahead and pre-cut, pre-inked my piece. You want to get good coverage of glue. However, you don't want to saturate it. You don't want to create large beads of glue. So what I like to do in my glue bottle is I like to hold this straight up and down so I'm scraping the glue as I'm applying it to create a smoother surface as opposed to beads of glue. So I'm going to lift this up right here and I'm going to stick it down. I'm going to burnish, okay? Burnish, burnish, burnish. I'm also going to use a burnishing tool because it's going to help, right, to create a nice flat surface and eliminate any beads of glue that I may have. And because I applied my glue in that scraping application, it reduces the light, it reduces the, of course, my phone's going to ring now. It reduces the oozing, right? It just doesn't eliminate it completely, but you get less oozing, right? And you really want to pay close attention to this. You want to burnish, burnish, burnish as much as possible, right? Until you get a really good stick and a nice smooth surface. So had we glued here and then immediately glued over here, you really would have felt a lot of moisture here, and it's just not good construction, guys. Not good at all. Now you want to let this dry in a nice flat state. You don't want to put this anywhere where it can warp, get a weird shape. You don't want that. So I am going to take a break. So I'm going to let this dry just like this in this closed state. This is how I want my book to look. So I'm going to let it dry like that. So you want to apply your wet glue toward the end when you can let it dry in a state where it's going to take the proper shape. All right, so I hope that this is helpful. If you like these tips and tricks video, leave me a comment below. It helps me with my content, and it also helps the algorithm, guys. It funnels content to you similar to this on what you would like to see, and it also shares my videos with others that have the same interest. So it helps my channel, guys. So I appreciate your time with liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. This is Kathy with Paper Phenomenon, and until next time.